Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jay. We are in the kitchen this morning. It was my sister's birthday yesterday, and so I am taking a breakfast casserole and mini Dutch babies over to my mom's house, and we're gonna have mimosas and breakfast and spend a little bit of time together for her birthday. So breakfast casserole, I already have a video up on my channel. It's already in the oven. I went ahead and threw it together this morning, but I have made mini Dutch babies a lot recently. It's just a really excellent breakfast for the winter time. It's very just warm and comforting, and I've gotten a lot of feedback on my Instagram from people asking for the recipe. It's actually not my recipe, it's from thekitchn.com. I'm gonna have that link down in the description for you guys if you're interested, but we're gonna throw them together really quick. I recommend these, especially for people with kids. If you're trying to feed a lot of people, they're wonderful. They're very cute and fun for the kids. They can watch them blow up and watch them deflate, and they are so good and so easy, you guys. We're gonna get right into this morning. You wanna have a muffin tin. I have my oven preheated to 350 right now because of the breakfast casserole, but you're gonna wanna preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Go ahead and get your muffin tin in your preheated oven, or they can go in together and warm up together, it doesn't matter. But you want your muffin tin to be warm. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my oven right now. While your muffin tin is heating up, you just need one bowl. This is a one bowl recipe, and you guys know that those are my favorite kinds. Really simple recipe, you guys, all very whole ingredients. You know, I've been talking a lot lately about sourcing your main pantry staples organically, and if you have been doing that, then this is definitely one of those recipes that you'll be able to make organically. So you have 1 cup of flour. You want 1/4 cup of sugar. The recipe says granulated sugar. I've done both granulated and brown sugar, and they're really good both ways, so whatever tickles your fancy. You need 4 eggs. These are the last 4 eggs I have from my girls, which, I mean, I'll get more today, but they're definitely not laying a ton right now. We've been getting a lot of snow. It's very dark, and I'm sad to be using the last 4, but that's okay. They're going for a good cause. Happy birthday, sis. You want 1 cup of milk. Whole milk is really the best for this, but you can, of course, use whatever milk you have. I'm always saying that. I try to always give you guys recipes where you can make those easy substitutions for just whatever you have into the same bowl there. Look at how beautiful my vanilla extract is. I got this put together around Thanksgiving, I think, and it's really dark and looking very good. So I don't know how much, I don't remember. I'm just gonna put in a splash. And then we are gonna put in a nice little dash of salt here. These tend to be on the sweet side, so feel free to add salt, don't be afraid of it. The recipe that you'll see down in the description tells you to blend this up in a food processor or a blender because you want it to be really, really smooth. And that's true, you do. You want it to be very, very smooth. And that's true for a regular sized Dutch baby as well. Any Dutch baby recipe you find online is gonna tell you to put it in a blender or a food processor. I don't have a blender or a food processor right now, nor do I feel like getting out my hand mixer or my stand mixer. I have made this many, many, many times, you guys, and I just put in a little extra effort with my hand mixing with a whisk. I really mix it good and try to get out any big chunks of flour or dry ingredients that I see, but it always comes out fine for me. I've absolutely never had an issue not putting it in the blender or the food processor, so do with that what you will. Guys, you can add spices to this. You can add cinnamon, you can add pumpkin pie spice, you can add clove, or you can add whatever you want to this to get, you know, the desired flavor. Also, when it was Christmas time, I made these, and I did 1/2 cup of milk and 1/2 cup of eggnog, and they were so good. For this, I think I'm gonna actually add a sprinkle of cinnamon. I don't recommend adding something like chocolate chips or nuts or anything that's real heavy because you don't want to mess with the batter doing its rise and deflate thing. Instead, anything whole like that that's not going to break down into the liquidy batter, I would add into the middle of the Dutch baby at the end. And we'll talk about that when we get them. So this is all nice and blended up. I don't really see any big chunks of anything. Now you want to let it rest for 10 minutes. All right, I increased my oven temperature to 375. I have my muffin tin that was getting warm in the oven. While we're letting the batter sit for a few more minutes, we can go ahead and get this ready. You need some unsalted butter, or salted butter, I won't tell. And you want to take about 1/2 pat of butter. This was a whole pat, and I just divided it into 2. And you want to put about that much into each well in your muffin tin. And then you don't necessarily need to wait for that butter to melt. It's not that big of a deal. It'll melt when these are in the oven. I like to use, I've got this cute little, I think it's like a gravy spoon or something, and that's what I like to use to fill this. Now this is a very watery or liquidy batter, so it's gonna be kind of difficult. You want to fill your wells about 1/3 of the way full, and you're just gonna put this right on top of the butter that you put in there. But I'll be honest with you guys, I have filled the wells so many different ways. I've had them be almost all the way full. I've had them be hardly full at all. And it really doesn't make that big of a difference. You're just gonna end up with, if you fill them fuller, you're gonna end up with a taller Dutch baby. And if you fill them less full, you're just gonna end up with a shorter Dutch baby. They're still delicious and they still bake really well either way. So usually what I do when I'm trying to make a full dozen like this, I just go through and make sure that each well has some batter, and then I go back through and top them off if I have enough. And then I just get like a little square. I don't use a whole paper towel. I just get like a little square, get it damp. And you don't have to, but I'm just a little OCD, so I like to clean up all of the little drips that get on the muffin tin. Does anybody else do that, or are you the type that just like says screw it and you just put it right in the oven with the drips on the tin? They drive me crazy. I don't know why. All right, now don't forget your muffin tin is likely a little warm because you had it warming up in the oven, so don't forget to put your pot holders back on. You want to bake these for 12 to 15 minutes, the recipe says. I like the edges, the puffed up edges of my Dutch babies to be crispy. I like the inside to be nice and soft and fluffy and the outside to be a little crispy. That's how I like my pancakes too. And so I always leave mine in the full 15 minutes, sometimes even a little longer if I'm feeling frisky. So you really want to, you'll know they're done. Obviously they're gonna be puffed up, but you'll see the edges start to get a little brown, and that's really what you're looking for in terms of level of doneness. The browner, the more well done. It would be very hard to like burn these in terms of like, because the middle is so soft. So the longer you keep them in, the crispier the outside is gonna be, and that's how I like them. So that's what you're keeping your eye out for. I'm gonna go ahead and get these in the oven. Also, can I just show you this breakfast casserole? It's ridiculous. I'll post the link to this down in the description. I have a video on this already. Look how delicious that looks. It's so easy to throw together. I made a small one because it's just me, my mom, and my sister, but the one in the video is a full-size one that can feed your whole family. So good, so easy. I definitely recommend this breakfast casserole. All right, you guys, they are done. They don't stay puffed up long, so I'm gonna bring them right out of the oven and show you here. This is what they look like puffed up. It's so fun for kids. If you turn your oven light on, you can kind of watch them slowly puff up as they are baking. See how this one has like an edge here? This one does too. See, they're already starting to deflate. Those are like the crispy edges I was talking about. I could even stand to leave these in a little longer, but I really got to get going. So I'm gonna call it. But you just have to let these cool. The centers will deflate and cave in, and that becomes your little like almost bowl that you can put fresh fruit in, you can put jam in. I always dust them with a coating of powdered sugar all the time, and then I do like honey, maple syrup. Honestly, my favorite is powdered sugar and maple syrup. I love that, but I've also done strawberry jam. They're so good. You could do you could do some bacon bits in there. That'd be really good. All sorts of options. All right, I've given them a second to cool. I've got this little Pyrex dish with a lid. I don't need to take all of these. Like I said, it's just me, my mom, and my sister, so I think I'm gonna take the crispiest ones, the best ones, and put them into this little dish. Oh, I forgot to show you. Let's see, this one's cute. See how it deflated? And now it has this nice little pocket in the middle that you can put stuff. Come on, focus. Look how cute that is. Oh, so yummy. Yes, very, very good. All right, and then I've got this neat little thing, this little sifter. It's got a little handle. How cute is that? And I'm just gonna sift a little bit of powdered sugar over top. Probably make a big mess, that's okay. All right, and that's all I'm gonna bring because I'm sure my mom has other stuff that we can put on them, but there you go. Look how cute they are. And I don't have to taste test one because I already know that they're amazing. I make these all the time. They're a really, really great breakfast, and they're not too bad for you. It had 1/4 cup of sugar, the little bit of butter that you put in the bottom, and then eggs, milk, and flour. So, I mean, they're just your basic baked good. And then what you put on top is kind of up to you on how, you know, if you want to make them kind of more like hearty, like breakfast, then you could put, you know, like I said, bacon or crumbled sausage, or you could even scramble some eggs and put them on there. Or you could make them kind of more sweet with like the powdered sugar, chocolate chips. You could do peanut butter. So up to you what you want to make them, but they're a really, really great like filling breakfast item, and I definitely recommend making them. They're so fun for the wintertime. We've got some snow, it's snowing today, and they're just very warm. They make the house smell so good, and they're very, very delicious. So I have a Dutch baby recipe already up on my channel, like I said, and that's also a really great option. But these are just so fun and so easy for kids to eat. So I had a lot of people asking me for the recipe, so I just wanted to make a quick video since I was making these today anyway. So there you have it. Let me know if you decide to make these, what you put for your topping. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments. And I can't wait to see you in my next video. Be blessed, my friends. Bye.